Alright, so boom, check it, bro. There's this new Naruto game, new open world Naruto game come out that's called Nindo Shinobi World, and I just wanted to make a quick video. Just like I just figured out, I just learned about this game, so I looked at a couple clips. So I'm just gonna talk about just like the broad strokes of what I've seen and talk about like general stuff. If anything happens progressive in this like game or anything like that, that's it's still like it's not even like released yet. It's still like in private, still in development. But if anything like happens with that, I'll do more an in-depth video about it, bro. I'm just talking about it just generally right now because I just learned about it and it looks interesting. It looks like something that can actually be something. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't look like thou should not be named. You know what I'm saying? But basically it's a open world Naruto inspired game, or more just like a Naruto game. It should be, try to, you know what I'm saying, like try to be its own thing, but it is like a Naruto open world experience type game. And I've seen some clips around, and it actually looks pretty decent. It's not that bad, and for it's already having multiplayer and a lot of different, like it's so far in its development stage when I've seen it that it actually surprised me. Like I was like, oh, another Naruto open world game, let's see what's gonna happen here. But it was actually more like I was more surprised at how it looked. It looked amazing, and how it played out, the mechanics and stuff like that. I was more intrigued, and I was like, oh, this actually looks like something that can be good, and so that's why I wanted just to hop on and just talk about it for a couple minutes. The things I liked about it was the overall like art style, and I know it's supposed to be reminiscent of Shell shaded, but it seems like it has this like own like kind of subtracted contrast against that, so it looks Shell shaded, but it looks like a little different, But and I like I like how the jutsus are reminiscent of Shinobi Striker, because like I said, if you wanted to make a game, Naruto inspired open world game or anything like that, Shinobi Striker has some of the best combat in the Naruto franchise. I know Storm and other games such as those have different styles, but just because of like how it's, basically the combat is the only thing that's keeping that game alive, because it's pay to win and all this other. So them having robust combat is the reason why the game's still like thriving right now. So taking notes from that is the best thing to do, to have any sort of like combat game related to Naruto in any aspect, you know what I mean? And that's I can see the similarities between there, and when I was looking at the similarities between these two games, I was also looking at the differences, and why I think this project will work out better than others of fan games or anything is because they are willing to sacrifice some of the aspects that are well known in Naruto games and in general to accomplish their goal. Like in this game, I haven't seen any attempts at raw like chakra wall running, anything like that, and I was like, and that makes it more like ground based, because in Shinobi Striker you can of course run on the walls and all that shit, but it's always like really iffy if you could touch touch like geometry, stuff like that, bro. It could get really confusing. Sometimes you think you're about to land on a wall, but you slide down and you fall to your death. Like it could be really hard to implement something like that and also keep it balanced and like stuff like that. So I can already see that they're willing to take some features out, or to not like overload them with like, okay, we gotta have this, and this, because the more features you have, the more balancing it takes, the more effort it is to make sure those features aren't broken. Like, bro, because it could get like really laundry list. That's why I say before I do any game project, I write out the cool things I want. I want all this, and this, and then I just start scratching out stuff that I could just get rid of. I love this aspect of a game, but I ain't gonna be able to do it in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. And what they have now is like they have multiplayer. Most fan games, Naruto or otherwise, don't even have like multiplayer functionality, even like it's shown. So they're at a stage where they're doing their thing, you know what I'm saying? So I do hope that the development team, or per one person, I haven't looked into it, notes that it's the difference between like 3 or 2 people in a server and like 10 to 20 to 30. Some people are expecting hundreds. So hopefully you can understand like some like the amount of scale. Hopefully you have a general amount of like where you want the game to be when it's done. Not when, and most people want to look at the future, but it's easier to look at what's next. Because you say, okay, this thing is broken, let's fix that, instead of, okay, now I want 50 players to all fight in the same time, like stuff like that. There's nothing inherently wrong about the game that I've noticed other than like some nitpick issues, but it's in beta, so it's no point even calling them out. It's nothing like crazy broken. But I do think it's funny when you're having like a full-blown battle and like an AI villager just walking past, like nothing's happening. But that's other than that is the glitches and bugs can be overlooked just based on it not being out. Even if it was still in beta, if you release a game and it's in beta, I'm gonna critique it. But it's not technically out to the public. Nobody spent no money on it, as far as I know. So it's like, I'm gonna let you slide on some of the bad things about it. Cause listen, when you're in development, everything's bad, bro. I know firsthand. You know what I'm saying? So the game looks good. The movement looks crazy. And the combination of jutsus that they have now are intricate enough to like actually set up something. Cause like I've seen some plays with the mud wall in Nindo Shinobi World that you cannot even, like, people don't even use the mud wall in Shinobi Striker. And anybody that does, it's like, why even do that, you know? So I think that's really cool that even though, just because of how this game is, you can use jutsus more efficiently than like in an actual like licensed game for Naruto and stuff like that. That's really all I gotta say about it though. If anything happens with it, I'll give it like an in-depth look and like have some clips or some pictures or stuff like that for you. I just wanted to talk about it for a minute. Hopefully this game actually, you know, pans out. But also, just like I say with any fan game, even if it pans out, even if you make the best game, somebody's gonna come and smack you with the, you know, because you're using their character. I would just make a Naruto inspired game, not like a Naruto fan game. It's like, you know, what's the point of doing all that work for everything to just be taken away by one little letter from a lawyer or something? So, you know, other than that, hopefully they keep up the good work, bro, because the game look kind of cool. But that's all I gotta say, bro. Just roll my outro.